Hi, and welcome to Closet Factory's Operation Reorganization.
Recent events have forced many of us to utilize our homes to get our work done.
That's right, home office space is more important than ever, and reorganizing our lives to maintain a balance between work and family plays a key role in that space.
So in this episode, we're going to visit two clients in Chesapeake who work for the same company. And they had our designer Denise come in and help them bring their work home with them.
We're the Rivera family. We've been here in Chesapeake for about almost 20 years now. We both grew up together in New York. Our high school sweethearts. We graduated high school and college together. Decided to move down to the Hampton Roads area to pretty much start our family, and really have enjoyed living down here in Hampton Roads. Lived in this house for about 5 years now. We absolutely love the neighborhood, love the community and the people around. Myself, I work for the hospital, Chesapeake Regional Hospital. I manage the wound care and hyperbarics department there, and I also manage a center that we have in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And I'll let Valerie speak about what she does for her profession.
Yep, so I am the Chief Operating Officer at Freedom Street Partners, which is a financial services company here in Chesapeake, Virginia. And I've been in the financial services industry now for 19 years. And so when Errol and I first moved to Virginia, I started my career at American Funds in Norfolk, and just stayed in the industry and have built my career in financial services.
For us, the neighborhood was always going to be the big thing with the school districts and so forth. You know, having 3 children, we wanted to make sure that we were going to provide them a great educational opportunity. So Great Bridge, Hickory area was always an ideal location for us. We were very fortunate to find this home. It was a model home, and we really just fell in love with it. There was a lot of things already installed that we really liked, so it was very much move-in ready. In terms of us having to do any kind of modifications to the home, just mostly the office was a big thing for us internally because of Valerie and what she does for work. She works a lot from home, so it was one of those things that we really wanted for her to feel comfortable with and be able to work.
Yeah, I laugh because you buy the model home and you think it's move-in ready, and what are we going to modify? And then you live in it for 5 years, and of course you always find things that you want to change about any home. So, especially I think last year in 2020 with COVID, I think a lot of homeowners experience this, being home for a whole year in your home. While you can go anywhere, you start picking all the things that bother you about your house when you and your entire family is stuck inside of it, and you start thinking of all these great ideas. And so the office for us was one that became almost an immediate necessity because of us working from home, especially me, on a more of a everyday basis during COVID. We had to make some modifications and changes to equip myself for that. Before the modifications, we had a desk that was right up against the wall with the window behind me. Well, we all know with working remotely, everybody started doing more Zoom meetings. And so as I'm doing Zoom meetings, I have light that's hitting from behind. It's not the greatest on your computer screen. So I had to do a lot of maneuvering to get the right lighting behind me. So one of the modifications we did was we changed the direction of the desk. And so the window is now to my side and not behind me. So I actually can look out the window while I work, and I can do Zoom meetings without the lighting in the background. Closet Factory did a great job with with designing it for our needs.
I'm Denise House, Senior Design Consultant with Closet Factory. I've been with them for about 11 years now and did exterior design before I went into the closet business. So I started my closet career in the Dallas area about 13 years ago, moved here 11 years ago, so I've been with Closet Factory here ever since. So Valerie and Errol called Closet Factory so that they could build a home office due to the pandemic. What's really great about the business that we do is that we get a lot of referral business. And the CEO that Valerie works for, I ended up doing his closet about 7 years ago, and he referred me to Valerie. As it turns out, the entire company ended up having to work remotely. So not only did I do Valerie's office, I got the opportunity to work with Scott again, and we ended up doing his office as well.
The first time we met Denise, she was just very kind, very professional. She really enjoys what she does for a living, and you could just kind of see that from her. And she was very knowledgeable about really trying to understand what is the purpose of the space that we're looking to change. And she really thought a lot about how we were trying to make that area work. So when she was here, she measured, the area that we were working with, and just started kind of popping up ideas as to what she thought would work in that office space.
So when Valerie and Errol came into the showroom, we have a specific room where we have a huge conference table and a large screen TV so that we can shoot the whole design up on a big screen so they can see it all in 3D. I always start with that first. Let's look at the overall design, the layout. Does this make sense to you? Then we take time and go through the showroom and look at all the different options as far as the finishes go. In Valerie and Errol's office, I always kind of look at it clockwise. And here you're seeing just a nice big tower of open shelving just for storage, all kinds of office supplies. I did just some open storage at the top. We did have a different backing, a little bit different color, just to add another texture. This is a file drawer here, and just some drawers for pens and pencils and other office items. This is another file drawer, and then these two spaces here are just for storage. And this makes, because of the window, it just naturally creates a little bench seat there. And then here's another little workspace for Errol, with some space for him to put some of his books as well.
Installation day came, and there was two gentlemen that arrived, and they were very professional as well. They brought in all the materials, kind of lined everything up, and then it was like plug and play. They knew they had the design in front of them, and they just started constructing the pieces together, and it was amazing at how quickly that process took. Within a day, majority of it was done, and then the second day they came back in just to add the finishing touches, the hardware and the molding. So it was very quick installation, and we were very pleased. Seeing the finished product, it was a great feeling to know that it was clean, neat, put together. Like I said earlier, I didn't want it to be an eyesore when you first walk in our front door, which is what it was before. Doing the lighter cabinetry, the white, really brightened up the room. We still have some finishing touches, of course, like anybody else, I think, that we'd like to put in there. So that's still a little bit of a work in progress. But just having a storage space for everything we had in that room, and it's put away that nobody can see. It's behind the closet doors and in the drawers that we have there. Knowing that everything has a space has been the best part of it. My favorite part of the design was the little inserts in the drawers. It was something that Denise had recommended when we were looking at putting we put a color behind the shelving, but then she said, how about putting it on the drawers too? And that little piece of gray on the white really pops. And it's one of my favorite parts of the design.
It was so much fun to work with both Errol and Valerie. They know exactly what they like and what they want. They're just really delightful people to work with. We just, spent time together at the showroom, going over everything, and the process was really pretty painless.
We thoroughly enjoyed working with Denise and the Closet Factory. They all were very professional. Even when we were at the showroom, they all made us feel very comfortable when we arrived there, and made sure that our questions were answered. We definitely would use them again for any closets that we may. Actually, we did talk to Denise about that.
I do have projects in mind, so there will be probably calls to Denise in the future for closets and something else. But everything, you have to pace yourself out when you're doing home remodels. So.
That's correct. That's right. Because we would like to do our master bedroom closet. Mm-hmm. So that is definitely a project that we have on the horizon there, and we'll make sure to speak with Denise about that.
I love the way the Riveras created an office space that is also functional for the rest of the household. Now, let's head up the street to visit the CEO of Valerie's company, who needed a space to accommodate all those Zoom meetings we've all become accustomed to. Let's meet Scott Danner and see how Denise helped him.
I'm Scott Danner. I am born and raised in this area, and I am married to Adrienne, my wife, and we live here with our 2 children, our 2 boys, Carson and Braden. And we spend most of our time on soccer fields when we're not working. Adrienne's a school teacher, and I'm the CEO of a company locally called Freedom Street Partners. We are a financial advisory company, and we have offices across the country. We love our home. We did something super cool. We actually had turf put into the backyard right before COVID hit in January of 2020. And it turned out to be the greatest decision we ever had in our lives because the boys have played soccer. We were outside incessantly. There was no mud. And so probably the best thing we've done to our house since we did the office remodel. I think the vision for our home is just to do like most families, and that is to make it a home. And so busy people like my wife and I and our kids, I think our vision for the house is just to be here more, to be able to spend more time together before they're gone, and to enjoy it. And we're really blessed to have such a beautiful home that we just want to be here more. We don't really need to do any major changes or crazy things. We just need to spend some time here. The last year and a half has been kind of crazy. And with 2020 and all the modifications to life and business and work, it was really kind of a godsend that we had outgrown, our company had outgrown the space that we were in. And so about a month before COVID actually shut things down in our area, I had moved out of my office and into the house and was working upstairs in a closet space that had a big desk, and that's about it. And it was very tight and very temporary. And we just thought, okay, it's no problem. We've outgrown the space. So I gave my office to one of our directors, and my COO, Valerie Rivera at Freedom Street, also just did some remodeling and some office changes, and all because she was also working from home. So as we started to see how much we were home, how much we needed better space, creative space, cleaner space, we really started to look at investing here in the house where I could have a more permanent space to both work, live, and even, think, because I think sometimes that's a great space when you have a home office. It's great to have a thinking space. So these are the reasons we ended up being home, and what a great year to remodel your home and to have it ready for the next chapter and the next generation of working from afar or wherever you are. My office was the playroom, and my boys are approaching, middle school for one and high school for the other, and there's not a lot of playing that's being done in that room as it used to be. So now it was more wrestling and soccer, and the walls were all beat up, and there's coloring spots all over the place, and it was a really beat up space. And it was actually my wife, Adrienne, who recommended that we really repurposed that space into something that we could use as a family, or I could use as an office. And she gave me the carte blanche to really build it out however I wanted to do that. And this beautiful home is really her design, but I like the space so I could make it my own. And if you saw it before, you would really understand that this space needed a remodel. It needed some level of refreshing. And the boys had lived in it and loved it, and it was worth every second of the playing, but it was time for Dad to have a workspace.
Scott and Adrian's home is very, very well done. When you walk in, everything is just in its place. They have exquisite taste. It's like almost like a show home. And so it's very fun and easy to design for people who are very specific in their taste. And, they know what they want, they know what they like, and they make it my job really easy.
Closet Factory process is really awesome because it comes with the design first and the vision, and they place all that stuff together by just listening and learning. What is the space gonna be? What are we gonna use it for? How are we gonna see ourselves in the space? What do you see furniture being in here? How do you lay it out? They measured everything. We measured it twice. We even actually measured to make a library in my closet, and we were gonna fit some other things in there that we realized because it opened up a certain way, it wouldn't fit. And we had to make amendments and changes. And we spent hours really developing the process. And that's the first step, is really creating a vision.
He knew he wanted an office space. He needed kind of two places to work. So we talked about floating a desk in the front of it, and we built the built-in behind it, which also includes a workspace as well. He knew he wanted to put a special chair in here to have kind of his thinking space. And so my process is to come in and listen to all of that. Then, of course, I measure the space. I always say there's three things that happen here. The first, of course, is the math of it. You have to measure it. You've got to lay it out. It's got to, everything has to fit properly. The second part is the art of it. What does it look like? What color is it? Do the doors do they have a raised panel? Are they slab? Just all the things you can do to the space aesthetically, and you control the price by what you do to it. And I always say too, it's always my goal to create space that makes sense at a price that you're happy with, and that's what we do.
Install was unique because we were doing this all while COVID was really in full effect. And the ability for them to come in, it was really one person, one installer, one solid day, start to finish. They got here when they said they were going to be here. They followed all the protocols that were needed to really make not only our family feel most comfortable, but them as well. At the end of the day, it was 90% done. He came back in the morning to make sure a couple of loose ends were fixed. We FaceTimed Denise to make sure everything was right. And it was awesome. And we couldn't have been happier with the end result. I was super excited about the Kodiak color. It was new, it was innovative. I felt like it was fresh, and I wouldn't be putting something in my home that would be outdated in the next 10 years. I knew that it was something that was really gonna be valuable for us. And it turned out to be awesome. We had the printer. We were originally gonna put it on the desk, and instead we had a pull-out drawer that allowed the printer to be put away. Simple things, but things that really stood out. I didn't even know what desk we were gonna use in the middle of the room, and I picked that up as I was going after we had the design. And then one of the coolest features that we had was we did a library. That's really just a hideaway spot for all the books and all the reading material that I've been accumulating over the years, so that I can continue to read, study, and share with all my friends and family the stuff that we have. We love the space. I mean, we like the space so much that I spend extra time in there. You know, I have a thinking chair that I love. It's one of my favorite aspects of the room. It's comfortable, it's in the corner. We built the room out of really two major things. I wanted an old 1960s record player, and I knew I was ordering it. I didn't know what it would look like, but I knew about the size, and that's there, and it looks amazing. And then we have the chair. You know, it's really for reading and thinking and doing anything that just gets you out of the desk, so you're not always just sitting at the desk. And I made that room multi-purpose. And so when Denise and I were designing it and we were gathering the input from my wife and everybody else, we did some cool things. The grass cloth, navy, which was a deep color, a dark color. There were times we were nervous it might be too dark, but by adding the white and the barn door finish and all these little things really made it nice.
I have to say right off, when I first walked in the space, the grass cloth on the wall is just absolutely stunning. It is the perfect backdrop for the built-in that we did, which is also very beautiful. And the chair that he put in the space is just perfect. Everything's perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better install.
Closet Factory really came through for not only me and my family, but for our entire company this year, because Freedom Street Partners has outgrown the space. We're currently moving our office and you know, in the meantime, having some beautiful space in the home for both me and my COO, Valerie Rivera, who also happens to be one of our very best friends, her and her husband, Errol. It just turned out to be a perfect year and a perfect relationship and a perfect partnership. And really, when you build those partnerships, not only did we go to them in 2013, but we knew to go back because it was seamless and it was exactly what they said it was going to be. And they really helped my vision become a reality. So I'm very grateful.
That'll do it for another episode of Closet Factory's Operation Reorganization.
I really enjoyed this episode because it showed that closets are just a portion of what we do. Whatever your space, home or business, we can help you make it suit your needs.
That's right. So give us a call and we'll see what we can do for you. We'll see you next time.